Hey everyone, and welcome back.
It's great to be here.
I'm Richard,
And I'm Isabella,
and this is Wealth of Words.
where we explore
Really interesting book.
together
Yeah.
powerful ideas.
That can shape
All right.
our understanding of the world.
Absolutely.
So tonight,
Oh, this is a good one.
we're diving into Clear Thinking by Shane Parrish.
Yes.
Now I know,
I love this book.
some of you might be thinking,
It's so practical.
oh, another decision-making book.
You know,
But trust me on this one.
this one is different.
This one is really different.
It really is.
It's not just about
Yeah.
those big life choices.
They're not. It's about the little ones.
Should I go to grad school or should I take this job?
It's about the everyday decisions.
Parrish actually focuses on the power of those like seemingly insignificant
Right.
everyday moments.
Yeah.
Like those small choices that we make.
The ones we make almost without thinking.
Yeah, almost without thinking.
But they have a huge impact.
And they actually have a huge impact.
Well, they do.
Like,
Like what?
grabbing that extra cookie
Oh, yeah.
when you know you shouldn't.
Totally guilty of that.
Or hitting the snooze button
One too many times.
one too many times.
Right.
And then being late
Yeah.
for that super important meeting,
Uh-huh.
Or
Or, those little things.
maybe scrolling on your phone
Yes.
for an extra 20 minutes when you should be sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. Those things.
Those little things.
And those can really snowball
They can.
into bigger problems.
Absolutely. That's what makes clear thinking so fascinating.
It is really fascinating.
He's saying that mastering these ordinary moments is the real key to success,
That's what he's saying.
not just in our careers,
It's not just career stuff.
but in every aspect of our lives.
And like every aspect of our lives.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
to unpack this a bit,
Okay.
Parrish talks about
These things called thinking defaults,
right.
and that they can sabotage
They do.
our ability to make
Sabotage our ability
good, clear
to
decisions.
think clearly
And he identifies 4
of
these
things.
defaults:
4 of them.
emotion, ego, social, and inertia.
That's right.
Okay, so
Huge.
what are these,
Yeah.
and how do they
How do they work?
play out in our everyday lives?
How do they show up? Like in our lives?
How do they affect us?
Yeah, let's start with the emotion default.
Okay, the emotion default.
Think about a time you made a decision
Okay,
based purely on how you felt in the moment,
rather
rather than
logic,
logic or facts.
like facts and data.
Just purely on your emotions.
Okay.
Maybe you splurged on a shopping spree
Oh,
after a really rough day.
I could see that.
Or maybe you snapped at someone
Oh, yeah.
when you were feeling really stressed.
Yeah, I've been there.
That's the emotion default in
Oh,
action.
Yeah,
That's it.
I can definitely
Happens to all of us.
plead guilty to that one.
All right. It's a human thing.
Remember that time
What?
I convinced myself
Oh, yeah.
I needed that new gadget
Uh-huh.
just because it was on sale,
Oh, yeah.
right?
We've all been there.
My bank account
Yeah.
definitely
Bang.
felt the consequences
Oh, for sure.
of that emotional decision.
Yeah, but here's what's interesting.
What?
Parrish doesn't condemn these emotions.
Okay.
He doesn't say,
So it's not like
you're a
the
bad
Persians are bad.
No, he simply encourages us to just be aware of them
Okay.
so they don't completely hijack our decision-making process.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He suggests practicing mindfulness techniques,
Okay.
creating a pause between the feeling and the action. So like hitting the pause button on your emotional remote control,
I like that.
giving yourself a chance to just choose a more considered response.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. So instead of being controlled by our emotions,
Right.
we become the director
Yes.
of our own inner movie,
Exactly.
so to speak.
I love that analogy.
That's a good one.
Now let's move on to the ego default.
Okay. Ego default.
This one is all about protecting our self-image.
Oh, boy.
Even if it means making choices that aren't in our best interest.
Ooh.
We might avoid asking for help because we don't want to appear weak.
Right?
Or we might double down on a bad decision just to prove we were right all along.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, the
Okay.
good old I'm never wrong syndrome.
I'm never wrong.
I can definitely see
Oh, yeah.
how that can lead to some
For sure.
sticky situations.
Sticky situations.
Yeah.
It certainly can.
It can.
And Parrish suggests that the key to overcoming the ego default is to cultivate humility.
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 That's a tough one.
It's a tough one,
You know?
but it doesn't mean thinking less of ourselves.
So it's not like I'm worthless.
No, it's not
Yeah.
that.
You know?
It's about thinking of ourselves less.
Okay.
It's about shifting our focus outwards towards the bigger picture instead of being consumed by our own self-importance.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so instead of asking...
Instead of asking what will make me look good,
Right.
we should be asking what's the best course of action regardless of how it reflects on me.
Yeah, that's a subtle
Right.
but powerful shift in perspective.
It is.
Yeah,
It is. It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's a crucial step towards making clearer, more objective decisions.
Absolutely.
Now, the third default is the social default.
Okay, the social default.
This is all about conformity.
Social default conformity.
Yes.
It's the pressure we feel to go along with the crowd, even if it means compromising our own values or goals.
You know,
Yeah.
it's funny how we spend
It's funny, isn't it?
so much time
We spend so much time
worrying
about what other people think.
about what other people are thinking about us. Right, but in reality, everyone else is probably just as worried about what we think of them.
Right, it's like
It's like this endless cycle of social anxiety.
this weird social anxiety loop.
Yeah. And Parrish argues that the antidote to the social default is to cultivate our own inner compass.
Around inner
A
compass.
strong sense of self and a clear understanding of our values.
Okay.
So that way we can make decisions
It's like we build up
based on what truly matters to us.
this inner compass.
Not what's popular or expected.
And we can navigate through
Our-
these social situations.
It's like having a personal GPS for navigating those tricky social situations.
That's a really good analogy.
Right.
Now, what about that last one?
The last one.
The inertia default.
Ah, yes, the inertia default.
What is that all about?
This one is all about sticking with what's familiar even when it's no longer serving us well.
Okay.
We stay in dead-end jobs.
Oh, yeah.
We maintain unhealthy relationships, all because it just feels easier than facing the unknown.
It's like staying on autopilot.
It is like being on autopilot.
Even when you know.
Even when you know you need to change course.
You need to change course.
Yeah, you're just kind of coasting along, hoping things will magically get better on their own.
Yeah. Hoping for the best.
But as Parrish points out, real growth often requires us to step outside of our comfort zones and embrace the discomfort of change.
I can see that.
He suggests actively seeking out new experiences, challenging our assumptions, and being open to different perspectives.
Oh, okay. So instead of letting inertia dictate our lives,
Right.
we need to become the drivers of our own destinies.
Wow.
You know,
That's a powerful message.
it is.
It is.
It really is.
But knowing about these defaults
Right.
is only half the battle, right?
It is.
How do we actually
overcome them?
overcome these things?
Yeah, that's the real question.
Yeah.
And, you know, Parrish talks about the importance of self-awareness and pausing before we react.
Self-awareness and pausing. Yeah.
Before reacting.
Mhm.
Okay. And he introduces this fascinating concept of using rituals to create that mental space.
Rituals.
Rituals.
Okay.
Think about it. A ritual is a deliberate action that helps us just shift our mindset and prepare for what's coming next.
So it's like
It's like hitting the reset button in our mind,
getting the reset button.
giving ourselves a chance to just break free from those automatic reactions and choose a more thoughtful response.
Okay.
You know,
So
but it doesn't have to be anything grand or elaborate.
doesn't have to be a big thing.
No, it could be as simple as taking a few deep breaths
Mhm.
before responding to a stressful email,
Okay.
or going for a short walk to clear your head before making an important decision.
Okay. Yeah, like just creating a little space.
Yeah, just a little space.
Between
Stimulus and the response.
stimulus and response.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see
Yeah.
how this all ties together.
It all comes together.
Right. We become aware.
We become aware of our thinking defaults. Of our thinking defaults.
We create those pauses for reflection.
Create the pauses.
And then-
what?
Then we make a conscious choice.
We make a choice.
We choose to respond instead of react.
Respond versus react.
Yes.
Okay.
We choose to think clearly instead of letting our emotions, ego, or social pressures dictate our actions.
So we're not letting those defaults
Right.
control us.
We're taking back control.
We're taking control.
Exactly.
And that's where the real power lies, isn't it?
It is.
In that moment of choice.
The power of choice. Yeah, we
Yeah.
take ownership
We take ownership of our decisions.
of our decision.
And we start shaping our lives with intention.
intentionally.
Right.
Wow.
And to illustrate the power of taking ownership,
Okay.
Parrish shares a fascinating anecdote from his time working at an intelligence agency.
Oh, wow.
He talks about a critical task he failed to deliver on
Okay.
and how he initially resorted to making excuses.
Ah,
You know?
I can relate to that.
Right.
It's so easy. It's easy to blame external circumstances when things go wrong.
To just blame other things.
To point the finger outward.
Right, when things go wrong.
Yeah. But Parrish realized the transformative power of taking ownership. Instead of blaming external factors, he chose to take responsibility for his shortcomings.
Wow.
And that's when things started to change for him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So instead of being a victim of circumstance,
Right.
he became the architect of his own growth.
Exactly.
That's cool.
It's powerful.
That's a powerful lesson.
It is a powerful lesson for all of us.
It is.
Think about a time in your own life when you made the choice to take responsibility instead of making excuses.
Yeah, that's a good
outcome?
That's a good question to ponder.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's amazing how much power we have
Right.
when we choose to own our choices,
Own our choices.
both good and bad.
Good and bad, all of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Right. Yeah, it's a real game changer.
It is.
And Parrish doesn't just leave us with these philosophical concepts.
So he actually gives us some tools
He gives us tools.
to use.
He actually provides a practical framework for clear thinking.
Okay.
A 5-step process we can apply to any decision, big or small.
Ooh, I love frameworks.
Right.
Like, give me a framework.
Frameworks are great.
Give me steps.
It's like having a roadmap for making better choices.
Yeah, like a
A
roadmap.
roadmap.
Okay. So what are those 5 steps?
Okay, the first step is define the problem.
Define the problem.
Okay.
It sounds simple,
Right.
but it's crucial to clearly articulate what you're actually trying to solve.
Yeah, you got to know what you're trying to solve.
You got to know what you're solving.
Right.
We often get bogged down in the weeds, focusing on symptoms rather than the root cause.
Yeah, it's like, what's the actual problem here?
What is the actual problem?
What's the root of this?
What is the root cause?
Right.
Not just the symptom.
Not the symptoms.
Right.
So it's about getting to the heart of the matter. Getting to the heart of it.
Right. Stripping away all the distractions and really pinpointing the core issue.
Pinpointing the core issue.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. So define the problem.
Define the problem. That's step 1.
That's step 1.
Then we move on to explore solutions.
Explore solutions. Okay.
This is where you resist the urge to settle for the first idea that pops into your head.
Yeah. Don't just go with the first thing
Don't go with the first thing
that you think of.
that comes to mind.
Right.
Instead, you actively seek out multiple options, exploring different perspectives and possibilities.
Okay. So you're like intentionally looking for more options.
You're looking for options.
Okay.
You're not just brainstorming.
Like, yeah, brainstorming.
You're deliberately seeking out diverse perspectives to broaden your understanding of the problem and the potential solutions.
So it's like brainstorming, but with a purpose.
with a purpose.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so explore solutions.
Explore solutions, and then
Okay, and then?
it's important to remember that not all solutions will be equal.
Right.
So that's where the third step comes in. Evaluate the options.
Evaluate the options.
This is all about carefully weighing each option, thinking through the potential consequences, both short-term and long-term.
So thinking about the impact of your decisions.
Thinking about the impact.
Right, not just in the moment,
In the moment, but also down the road.
down the road.
Right.
So it's not just about what feels good right now.
Not just about what feels good right now.
It's about
It's about thinking long-term.
considering how it will affect you later.
Yes, thinking long-term.
Okay.
We often make impulsive choices based on immediate gratification, but clear thinking requires us to take a step back and consider the long-term implications of our actions.
Long-term implications.
Long-term thinking.
Okay, so we've defined the problem.
We've defined the problem,
We've explored solutions.
explored solutions,
We've evaluated the options.
evaluated the options.
Okay, what's next?
Then you move on to act decisively.
Act decisively. Okay. This is where you make a commitment to the chosen course of action and execute it with confidence.
So no more waffling,
No more waffling.
no more second guessing.
No second guessing.
Once you've made the decision,
Once you've made your decision,
you stick with it.
you commit to it fully. You
so.
see it through.
Okay.
Exactly. Indecision can be paralyzing. So acting decisively is crucial.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the process doesn't stop there.
Okay. There's more.
There's one more step.
Okay.
The final step is review and learn.
Review and learn.
After you've acted, take the time to reflect on the outcome.
Okay.
Did your decision achieve the desired result?
Okay. So you're checking to see
You're checking.
if you actually got what you wanted.
If you got what you wanted,
Right.
what could you have done differently?
So you're analyzing
You're analyzing your actions.
your decision.
Your decision.
Okay.
So it's about turning every decision into a learning experience.
Oh, that's interesting.
A stepping stone on our path to becoming better decision makers.
So every decision is like
Every decision is a learning opportunity.
a little lesson.
A little lesson.
Okay.
By reviewing and learning from our past choices, we continuously refine our decision-making process.
So we get better at making decisions.
We get better at making decisions.
By reviewing our past decisions.
Becoming more skilled and insightful with each experience.
That's cool.
And Parrish argues that this 5-step framework is like a muscle.
Ooh, I like it.
The more we use it, the stronger it becomes.
So we're like
We're training our brains.
training our brains to be better decision makers.
To be clear, thinking machines,
I like it.
right?
So we've got these tools.
We have the tools.
We've got these techniques.
We have the techniques.
Right?
But even with all the best tools and techniques,
Yeah.
it's easy to get lost in the daily grind,
Uh-huh.
making decisions on autopilot,
Yeah. Like you said earlier.
just going through the motion.
Just going through the motions.
Right.
And not really thinking about it.
Not thinking about it.
Yeah.
So how do we ensure that our clear thinking is actually serving a meaningful purpose?
That's a good question. Like, how do we know that we're not just
Right. How do we know that we're not just spinning our wheels?
spinning our wheels?
How do we make sure
that we're actually getting somewhere?
that it's actually leading to a more fulfilling life?
Who?
That's a great question. And it leads us to the final and perhaps most profound aspect of clear thinking.
Okay. Hit me with it.
Aligning our actions with our values.
Aligning our actions with our values.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just about being a good decision maker.
It's not just about making smart choices.
It's about
It's about making choices that are in alignment with who we are at our core.
making choices that align with your values.
With your values.
Like that.
Exactly. Parrish challenges us to ask ourselves,
Okay.
what truly matters to me?
What matters to me?
What are my core values?
Okay.
And once we've identified those values,
Once we figure that out.
how can we ensure that our decisions and actions reflect those values?
Ooh, that's deep.
It is deep.
You know, it's so easy to get caught up
It's so easy to get caught up.
in chasing external goals.
External goals.
Success, money, recognition.
All those things.
Well, then.
But they often leave us feeling empty and unfulfilled.
Yeah, like you get there and you're like,
You're like, wait, this isn't it?
this isn't what I thought it would be.
This isn't what I thought.
Yeah.
It's when we align our actions with our values that we find true meaning and purpose.
Ooh, I like that.
Right.
Aligning your actions with your values
It's powerful.
leads to meaning and purpose.
It does.
Okay.
And identifying our values isn't always easy.
I can imagine.
It takes some work.
Right.
It requires some introspection and self-reflection.
You got to think about it.
You got to really think about it.
Okay.
But Parrish offers some helpful guidance.
Okay. I'm listening.
He suggests reflecting on our past experiences,
Past experiences. Okay.
identifying moments of joy and fulfillment,
Okay.
and even considering what we find deeply upsetting or unjust. These are all clues to what we truly value.
So it's like
It's like putting together a puzzle,
a puzzle.
using those little pieces of experience to create a clearer picture of who we are and what truly matters to us.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Right.
Like we're piecing together
Piecing together our values.
our values
From our experience.
from our experiences.
Exactly.
And then once we have that picture,
Once you have the picture,
then we can
then we can start making choices that align with those values.
align with our values.
Align with your values.
Okay.
Precisely. And it's not just about making big life-altering decisions.
So it's the little things too.
It's about bringing that value-driven mindset to our everyday choices.
Okay.
Those seemingly insignificant moments that actually shape the tapestry of our lives.
Those little everyday choices.
The everyday choices.
Okay.
It could be as simple as choosing to spend time with loved ones instead of working late,
Right.
or choosing to volunteer for a cause we believe in.
Oh yeah, like just making choices that are in line with
In line with your value.
what you care about.
What you care about.
Okay.
Exactly.
Sure.
So it's about infusing our daily lives with intention.
Intense.
Making choices that are not just smart,
not just smart,
but also meaningful.
but meaningful.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And when we do that, we create a life that feels more authentic, more fulfilling, more aligned with who we truly are.
Wow.
Right?
That's a beautiful thought.
It is.
It's like we're weaving our values into the very fabric of our lives.
Weaving it in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that.
It's a beautiful image.
But how do we know
How do we know?
if we're on the right track?
How do we know if our actions are truly reflecting our values?
Yeah, how do we know if we're actually doing it?
Right. That's where the concept of feedback comes in.
Feedback.
Feedback.
Okay.
Parrish emphasizes the importance of seeking feedback from others.
From other people.
From other people.
Okay.
Those we trust and respect.
People you trust.
To gain insight into how our actions are perceived.
So to see how other people
Well, other people are seeing us.
are seeing our actions.
And whether they're aligned with our stated values.
Okay, so it's like
It's like having a mirror held up to us,
a mirror.
helping us see ourselves more clearly and identify any blind spots we might have.
Because sometimes it's hard to see.
Sometimes we can't see our own blind spots.
Yeah, our own blind spots.
Right.
You know.
And it's important to remember that feedback isn't always easy to hear.
No, it's not.
It can sometimes be challenging or even uncomfortable.
Yeah. I don't like.
But if we're truly committed to clear thinking and living in alignment with our values,
Okay.
we need to be open to hearing both the good and the bad.
Both the good and the bad.
Right.
So it's about being willing.
It's about being open to learn the hard stuff, to grow even when it's a little bit painful.
Yeah.
But ultimately, that feedback helps us course correct
So we can make sure
to make sure that we're staying true to ourselves and our values.
they're living in line with our values.
Living in line with your values.
With our values.
Exactly.
It's like we're constantly adjusting our course.
Yeah, making sure we're headed in the right direction.
But with all this talk about,
It's a journey.
yeah, values and choices.
It is.
And, aligning our actions with our values.
Right.
What's the ultimate goal?
What's the point of all this clear thinking?
Like, what's the point?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, what are we trying to get at?
What are we trying to achieve here?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
It is a good question.
And it's something Parrish addresses head on in the book.
Okay.
He argues that clear thinking isn't just about making smarter decisions or achieving greater success.
Okay, so it's more than that.
It's more than that.
It's not just about,
It's about living a more meaningful and fulfilling life.
okay,
A life that's aligned with our deepest values and aspirations.
so it's about living a life.
A life that's true to you,
That's true to you.
true to your values.
That's aligned with your values.
A life that feels good,
Right.
you know?
Not just a life that looks good.
Not just a life that looks good from the outside,
Right.
but a life that feels good on the inside.
That feels good on the inside, yeah.
Exactly.
One of the things that really struck me
Yeah.
about clear thinking
What was it?
was Parrish's emphasis on the importance of ordinary moments.
Oh, yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in the big picture,
It is.
those major life decisions.
The big decisions.
But he reminds us,
But he reminds us that it's the little things.
the little things,
The everyday choices.
the everyday choices we make.
Yeah, that ultimately shape our lives.
It's like those little things actually matter.
They do matter.
They do.
It's so true.
It's true.
And those small choices often feel insignificant in the moment.
Yeah, you don't even think about them
You don't think about it.
sometimes.
But they have a cumulative effect.
Like over time,
Over time, they add up.
they add up.
They build upon each other, creating the momentum that propels us forward in life.
So they create momentum.
They create momentum.
It's like that saying,
What is it?
what you do every day matters more than what you do once in a while.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
Right.
It's so true.
It is.
And by bringing clear thinking to those everyday moments,
Okay.
we empower ourselves to create a life that's not just successful,
Okay.
but also fulfilling and meaningful.
Fulfilling and meaningful.
We make choices that support our well-being, our relationships, our passions, and ultimately our overall happiness.
So it's about making choices
Making good choices
that support your overall happiness.
that make you happy.
Yeah. So it's not letting life just happen to us.
Right. We're not just along for the ride.
We're actually in the driver's seat.
We're taking control. We're becoming active participants in creating the life we want.
Like we're creating the life we want.
We're creating it.
Wow.
It's powerful.
And it's a journey, right?
It is a journey.
It's not like you get there and you're done.
It's not a destination.
It's a journey.
See.
It's an ongoing thing.
An ongoing process.
And speaking of journeys,
Oh, yes.
it's time for us to wrap up
Wrap it up
our exploration of clear thinking.
for this evening.
But before we go,
Okay, one last thought.
I want to share one final thought
Okay, I'm listening.
from the book that really resonated with me.
Hit me with it.
Parrish writes, "Wisdom is the ability to distinguish between what is essential and what is not."
Ooh, that's a good one.
And I think that sums up the essence of clear thinking beautifully.
It does. It's all about focus.
It's all about focus.
Prioritizing what matters.
Right.
in a world of constant distractions and information overload.
Right. There's so much coming at us.
It's crucial to develop that discernment,
That ability to cut through the noise
to cut through the noise.
and focus on what truly matters.
Focus on what matters.
So we're not just reacting
We're not just reacting
to everything.
every little thing.
Right.
We're making conscious choices.
We're choosing what to focus on
Choosing what to focus on.
and what to let go of.
And what to let go of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Isabella,
Yeah.
I don't know about you,
Tell me.
but my brain
Yeah.
has gotten a serious workout tonight.
Mine too.
Clear Thinking
It's a good one.
is a book that I will be revisiting
Oh, for sure.
again and again.
So many good nuggets in there.
So many good nuggets.
Lots of wisdom.
Lots of wisdom, and I hope our listeners
Me too.
feel the same way.
I hope so.
So,
All right.
as we sign off
Yes.
for this evening,
Okay.
what's one key takeaway
Oh, that's a good question.
you'd like our listeners to
What's that?
remember from Clear Thinking?
I would say this. Mastering those ordinary moments through clear thinking can lead to extraordinary results.
Ooh, I like that.
Don't underestimate the power of those small, everyday choices.
It's the little things
It's the little things that add up
that add up.
to big things.
That's a good one.
Right.
And for me, it would be.
Okay, what's yours?
Clear thinking isn't just about making smart choices.
It's more than that. It's about making choices that are aligned with who we truly are and what we deeply value.
living a life that reflects your values.
A life that reflects your values.
That's it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So we hope you've enjoyed this exploration of clear thinking
Yes, we do.
on Wealth of Words.
We hope you learned something.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
What
What resonated with you?
What stood out to you?
What insights did you glean from this book?
Right.
Feel free to share your takeaways
Share them with us.
on social media
Let us know.
or leave us a review
Yeah, leave a review.
wherever you listen to your podcasts.
We appreciate it.
And until next time,
Until next time,
keep exploring
keep exploring.
those wealth of words that enrich our lives.
That enrich our lives and expand our understanding of the world.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.